Right now, somewhere in the world, someone is staring at a glowing screen, checking the time, trying to catch up with a life that already feels behind. But for nearly all of human history, that feeling barely existed. No calendars, no inboxes, no alarms, no invisible pressure whispering that you should already be doing something else. And that raises a strange question. If ancient humans faced hunger, predators, freezing nights, and survival with almost no certainty, why do so many modern humans feel mentally overwhelmed by a world that's supposed to be easier? Why does the safest era in history often feel like the most exhausting? To answer that, we have to go backward, far beyond generations, far beyond timelines, back to where the human mind may have felt something modern life almost forgot. The fire had almost gone out. A small orange glow still lived beneath the ash while the night air moved through the trees. A woman sat beside it, slowly sharpening a stone blade against another piece of rock while a child slept nearby. No one checked the time. Neither were they worried about being late nor worried about life. No one thought about unread messages, unfinished works, tomorrow's schedules, or a growing list of things waiting to be done. All they cared was to be calm and live in peace. And for a moment, the world was exactly as it needed to be. Most people imagine ancient life as constant struggle with danger everywhere. Predators, disease, cold, hunger, a brutal fight for survival every hour of every day. And in many ways that was true. Life could end suddenly. A storm could destroy shelter. A hunt could fail. One injury could become fatal. But researchers studying hunter-gatherer societies noticed something strange. Even under real danger, even with uncertainty, even with far fewer comforts than modern humans, many ancient communities did not appear psychologically overloaded the way we often are today. They worked hard, sometimes extremely hard but busy. But in the modern sense, the relentless mental pressure and the feeling of always running late, the background anxiety of unfinished business with workmates, all these changes something uncomfortable because most people assume busyness is natural, that adulthood feels like pressure stacked on pressure. But ancient humans suggest something else, something much more unsettling. Maybe human beings were never created to feel mentally crowded all the time. But ancient humans didn't just live differently. They paid attention differently, and that may explain more than we realize, because the real difference between their world and ours wasn't only survival. It was where the mind lived every second of the day. Thousands of years ago, a human day often began with light and chicken crows, not alarms, not phones nor calendars. The body woke because the sky changed, the birds began moving, and because the air shifted, and immediately something different happens. Attention moves outward, towards the land, towards sounds, towards movements, towards the real environment, not towards endless symbolic tasks, not toward digital reminders, not toward abstract deadlines waiting inside invisible systems. Ancient humans certainly planned, and they remembered migration patterns, seasonal food sources, animal behavior, social alliances, and threats. Timing mattered, memory mattered, and skill mattered, but the mind was usually occupied by immediate reality. Now compare that to the modern nervous system. You wake up, and within seconds, your mind may already be carrying next week's bills, meetings, emails, notifications, goals, things you forgot yesterday, things you might fail tomorrow. The body is here, but attention is everywhere else. And the nervous system does not always distinguish the difference. A tiger in the grass and 20 unresolved obligations inside your head can trigger surprisingly similar stress responses, even when nothing physical is chasing you. And this is where the story becomes uncomfortable. Because ancient life was physically demanding, but modern life may be mentally harder in a way evolution never expected. Not because we do more, but because the mind rarely gets to finish anything. Anthropologists studying communities like the Hadza and San people repeatedly noticed rhythms that feel radically different from industrial life. There is effort, then pause, movement, then stillness, focus, then conversation, work woven directly into the environment. A task begins and a task ends. The mind resets. One modern life interrupts that reset. One task becomes 6. One conversation continues through messages. One responsibility overlaps with another. Nothing fully ends. Nothing fully leaves, and the mind stays partially open, waiting, tracking, monitoring, holding unfinished loops. Psychologists call part of this cognitive load, which is the cost of mentally carrying incomplete tasks. The strange pressure created not by action itself, but by unresolved anticipation. A storm is dangerous, but once it passes, it passes. An animal hunt matters deeply, but eventually the hunt ends. Modern busyness behaves differently. It is persistent, always nearby, enough to never fully relax, enough to feel like you should always be doing something, even while resting, even while eating, even while taking a break. And then something even stranger happens. Rest itself becomes work. You optimize it, track it, schedule it, measure it, and suddenly peace becomes another task. And that continues on and on. And beneath all of this, there may be something older still, a memory buried deeper than language. Something your nervous system has quietly remembered, even if the modern world taught you to ignore it. Researchers still debate exactly how ancient humans experienced stress. No one can perfectly reconstruct waking up 10,000 years ago. But the pattern remains difficult to ignore. Human beings evolved for extraordinary intensity. We can endure hunger, cold, pain, and danger. But endless fragmented attention, constant symbolic pressure, and never-ending abstract obligation, those may be among the newest pressures our species has ever encountered. Which leads to a strange possibility. Maybe modern busyness feels exhausting, not because you are weak, not because you are failing, but because part of your biology still remembers a world with cleaner edges, a world where night actually ended the day, where darkness meant stop, where silence was silence, where waiting was not wasted, and maybe ancient memory never disappeared. Maybe that's why forests feel calming, why firelight feels different from screens, why rain sounds feel strangely familiar, why certain quiet moments feel less like relaxation and more like recognition. As if some older part of your mind quietly says, yes, this feels familiar. Perhaps that is the hidden truth. Humanity conquered cities, technology, machines, artificial light, global communication. But in mastering time, we may also have changed our relationship with it. For most of human history, the sun rose, the day unfolded, the body moved, night returned. And that was enough. Only breath, fire, movement, silence, sky, and a human nervous system synchronized with the world. Perhaps that the world was never truly left behind. Perhaps it still exists underneath calendars and deadlines, waiting quietly. And every now and then between responsibilities, you feel it. A calm voice in your head than spoken words. A reminder from a forgotten world that life was not always meant to feel rushed. Ancient humans didn't feel calmer because life was easier. It wasn't. Their world was dangerous and uncertain. But when the day ended, it ended. No glowing screens, no endless notifications, no invisible pressure asking for more, just fire, silence, and a mind fully present. And maybe that feeling never disappeared. Maybe it still lives underneath the noise of modern life, in quiet walks, in still moments, in the rare seconds when time stops feeling like something to manage and starts feeling like something to experience. Because perhaps the mind was never meant to outrun life, only to live inside it. And somewhere deep inside us, a very old part of the human story still remembers how. If you enjoyed this video and want more mind lessons, personal growth, and wisdom from Lucid Lens Animations, hit that subscribe button and join our growing community. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep looking at life through a lucid lens.